Hello and welcome to the Football Manager Super League podcast, episode 35. This is our 1 year anniversary. Well, it was 2 weeks ago when we realised, or last week when we realised. So it's a momentous occasion, so we can only, do something about it with a momentous podcast. So, Chrissy.
Oh, bit close. Yo, mate.
Oh, yeah. You all right?
Who could believe it? 1 year, mate. That's crazy.
1 year, and I believe this will be the 61st video on the podcast.
That's
On the
crazy.
YouTube channel. I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Especially how far we've come and how we started it, and people come on and go on again. I mean, Niall come on, and Niall helped us get involved in StreamYard.
Yeah,
But
we can
yeah,
talk about
it's
all
been
that bit later.
yeah, definitely. No, it's crazy, man. How are you anyway?
Surviving. We'll use the word
Good,
surviving.
man.
How are you?
I'm good. Life's good. Work's going really well. FM, not so good.
FM not so much.
We'll
See,
talk,
I'm the
we'll
other way
talk,
around you. I'm the other
we'll
way
talk
around.
about that later on. But yeah, just like to say now, you'll have to get if you're doing a pod next week, you have to get another one because I'm jetting off on holiday Thursday. I'm only going for a week. I'll be back. But yeah,
That's
looking
okay.
forward to that. I
Where
think
you
all
going?
three of us need a nice chilled holiday. We're going to Turkey, so in the
I
south of
can see
Turkey, so it's away from all the drama. But yeah, it should be
I
all
was going to say you could. I mean, to be fair, I've got a lovely message off Doggu from the other day. I messaged him about a week
right.
ago about something else, and quote unquote. So I messaged him on the 23rd of March, asking. Obviously, we'll talk about it later, but we had some departures and arrivals, and
Oh
I'd
yeah,
asked him about that, and he put, "When does it start again?" I went, "Jesus, you missed the whole thing." And he put, "Ha ha ha. Dude, I've been rioting and protesting every single day for like the past 10 days. It is a miracle I've even saw your message."
yeah, right, charming.
So lovely doggy, hope you're well. So
He
so
definitely won't
let's,
be listening to this.
he won't, but I'll send it to it. You can listen to his jail
Yeah,
story.
good man.
But we will get started. So voila, we are back with another league update. That is so
Yeah, it's been a
important.
couple of weeks, isn't it?
It
So
has been a couple of weeks.
the league's got stuck into it. I think we're 8
We're at the
games in.
midway point now, really, aren't we?
Yeah, now it's the midway point. Yeah, it's. I mean, we'll have a look at the tables and we can explain a bit more then. But it's been tough. I mean, that's tight. I think that is up to date because I've played 8 games.
Yeah,
Bit of a
this
tough week this
was
week.
this was
No,
done.
it's not. I believe
Oh, it's every
Magnus
time.
Magnus beat Lewis, and Magnus also beat Ferman Lazio. So Atlanta are currently top of the league. That is a live update.
Oh well, at least
But
I
yeah,
missed that one.
it's quite a tight league.
Oh yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
insane.
Joe Travis still got a couple of games to play. Jake still got a couple of games to play. So's Darren. So I mean, it could all change. I mean, I could actually end up bottom by the time I get back from holiday. But it's one of them things. We're doing well in other places, so we just move on as we go.
Yeah, we've got to remember, even though it doesn't state here, it is the bottom 3 of the Premier League do get relegated. So at this moment in time, in the relegation spots, we have Marseille, Joe Travis, we have Oliver Ronan at Real Sociedad, and we have a returning manager. Now, viewers of this podcast will know everybody in the FMSL community loves and loved Dan Bicker as much as humanly possible. And sadly, he's decided after what it must be about 5 years now, it must be. He was in the league when I joined. He's decided to step away, which is really, it's heartbreaking. As a friend and his fellow manager. So we wish Dan all the best, and hopefully he will come back He'll come back soon. I don't know if you've got anything
Yeah,
departure.
yeah. A lot of time for Dan. When I first joined FMSL, uh, about a year into it, not a year into it, about a season into it. Yeah, no, sorry, about a year into it, I obviously got asked to be on the admin team, and at that point, it was quite a big admin team. So there was Jake, both Kevs. Uh, I think even Alan was on there at that point. Um, and Dan was on there as well. So he showed me about doing the stats and basically mentored me almost through it all. So it's a shame to see him go. We always have great chats throughout the season and throughout the window. Uh, yeah, shame to miss him, but I understand why he's left, and obviously life
Yeah,
does come first. And we like to just to clarify that everyone should, if the games can't get played or for whatever reason, remember it's a game. We do this because we love and enjoy FM. We do this because we love and enjoy the community. So don't let things get in the way of it. But yeah, it's a shame to see Dan go, but it's good to have Shane back. Lovely lads. Always takes the piss out of Jake, so it's a good thing to have back on that side.
yeah, we do have Shane Feeney returning, which is it's a bit of a bright spark and dull moment. But again, he's now got a job to come. He only left a few weeks ago. I feel like I said that about three
Yeah,
four
I
weeks
think it
ago. Yeah,
was.
Shane's left. Ross is in. Now it's a role reversal. But yeah, Shane coming in as a super sub halfway ish through the season. Can he turn it around? That is the question on everybody's lips. Can he turn it around? But hopefully he can. And looking at the rest of that league table, with the live update as such, with Magnus now being with Atlanta, I think it's looking like a bit of a tasty league. I wish I was in it. I think I'd be very. I think I'd be at
Yeah,
the bottom, but I think it's a tight league. I think
it,
it's a good
it
one to look at.
is. It is a tight league. Like I say, this week I've had of all three. I've come away with 1 point. I managed to get a point against Gladbach. I lost to Lewis. All three games tight. It's so tight in this league, but
Mm.
that's why it's the Premier League. So yeah, what will be, mate. But let's
Let's
swiftly
move it on.
look at
Yeah,
your.
if we move on, we've got a lot to talk about in the rest of the pod. But yeah, Anish still flying high, being top of the table.
9 goals conceded. Oops, sorry. Wow.
I
Fair
know it's
play.
insane, isn't it? And I've scored 9, and that says a lot. That says a lot, really. Um, but yeah, it's a tight. I think maybe the middle half of this league is the tightest you'll see. I mean, if you're looking at that, if I think Lewis posted an update about 30 minutes ago um about the game. Balance actually just got a point, believe it or
You
not,
missed me.
against
Celebrate.
against Galatasaray. So Lewis now. He's got a few games. Leipzig, so Lee Sharples has got a few games left, and that could push him up. Leon, Aston Villa, they've got some games as well. So it's getting
Mm,
really tight in this middle half of the table. But that'll be an interesting one. And obviously, we've now got to talk about another managerial departure this week, which was the
yeah.
sad, sad departure of 007 himself, James Bond. He has decided again to leave the league for a whole load of commitment reasons. And I love James. I've spoke to James for a long time. We get on so well. He was actually a guest on one of our earliest podcasts. I believe it was episode 4. When I was looking through before. And he's a really good guy, a lovely rugby committed guy. He does so much for his local community, and I know he's got a lot on. So I think we all knew deep down when we were
Yeah.
in the window. I think we all knew he was either gone or a goner.
Yeah.
And he stayed in
How,
a few more weeks and then just threw in the
yeah.
towel, which is fair enough. I understand that.
You can see towards the end of the last season, before the window just gone, he was a bit distant. He was missing games, and I know, like you say, I know he coaches rugby. I'm pretty sure he plays. He's got all these other things. He works non-stop,
Yeah.
and so I know he was trying to get games in. and you notice from his lack of activity in the window because he's usually quite an active manager.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so everybody
So
knew
it
really.
had it had been noted that he did his draft picks in the end. He hasn't left the club in debt, which is hats off to him. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't just abandoned them. But yeah, he was missing games, and I think the last week it was like he didn't not one game had been played, and one of the admins messaged him and just said, "Look, is everything all right?" And he said, "Look, I think I need to step away. I don't want to take the piss out of the lads." Like, but yeah, James Bond, he was one of my favourite guests. I think me and you, like you said, episode 4, we just started the pod, and
And we got fucking mortal.
yeah,
Well, me and James
there's
did
a
anyway.
there's a bit in that pod where I think we had a short for it on a TikTok where
Yeah,
he talks about the community and just about FMSL and how close he and I know he was gutted to leave it as well, but like I said at the start of the pod, sometimes commitments do and should take privilege,
yeah.
should take priority, so to speak. Sorry after that, but yeah, it's a shame to see James go. Wish him all the best for the future, but we do have a new manager in, so
Yes, we do.
just
We
look
do
forward
have.
to the future.
Yeah, we have a Lamb joining us, a veteran of the motorsport, well, esport community. Has decided to make his way over after applying on social media. So there is opportunities out there. So if you want to join, fill the form out, message us on Facebook or on X or on here or wherever. You can find us somewhere. I'm pretty sure. So there is obviously opportunities there. But looking at
Can I just say
yeah,
quick before we start that? Hats off to you, Cameron. You were responsible for getting the new managers in. As you know, there's a lot of people now in the league. Obviously, there's me, Craig, Simon, Lewis is part of the admin team when they're getting involved more do stats, but it's compared to how it used to be, how big the admin team was. We try to keep it small, so we want to keep it like we got our roles. Do you know what I mean? And you doing that, mate, drafting people in was fantastic. So thank you very much for that.
no, well, anything to help out. Really, I think it was mainly due to the lack of noise, and actually had in the end, I had 8 people wanting to join. 8 people.
Nice, get them on the
So I've
waiting
got
list.
I've got and that's a couple of
You're in
former
charge of it now,
managers,
anyway.
a
You're in
couple of
charge of it.
former
So.
oh god, I've got a couple of former managers who've been in the league previously, and a lot of new ones as well. So it's nice to have that. But Aid's got a really strong team, I feel, and I think he can pull out some results because I played him.
Yeah,
And the
because
score,
James,
the scoreline was a lot different to what the game was.
James built teams. James Bond knew how to build teams. He was always thereabouts. Every FM that we've done, every FM that I've done with him in, he's always been there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
He's won
he's spot on.
cups. He's been in the Premier. He can build a team, and it'd be interesting to see how Eddie gets on. But yeah. So
Yeah, we've obviously again. It's one of those things. It's the community. We'll all help each other, and I mean, he knows what he's doing. So there's no. I think he's just going to rock in, and I think he's going to do the business this window. I think he will. I think he'll rip that squad out and start again. But just
sweet. I'll
looking
be
at
in
it,
his
I mean,
DMs.
well, my week has been up and down. I mean, I got beat by Lionel Messi goal, 1-0. Was an absolute screamer as well. There was nothing like, do you know when there's just goals you can do nothing about? It was just one of those.
Yeah.
He literally must have been about 30 yards out, just plonked it like fucking rocket, top corner, and Merritt's just like, oh no, it went in. Like it was just one of those. And then I got 2 nice little wins as well, which has helped me seal this week. I've changed the tactic now, so hopefully
Nice.
that'll continue. So yeah. So moving on to our FMSL Cup. The last time we looked at this, it was still round about the last 16. I think teams were just getting in the last 16. So we'll run through that really quickly. So Galatasaray and Monaco. Monaco won that tie. Then we had Fenerbahce and Fiorentina underneath that. Fenerbahce won that tie. And then in Monaco, Fenerbahce, Luis came out on top. So Fenerbahce on the semi-final. Then we had Ross got a bye, so he ended up playing me after I beat Magnus. I ended up winning that one. And then when we look down again, Leipzig-Napoli, Leipzig pulled it out. And then Brighton versus PSV, we all knew who was going to win that, money laundering. And then, so Brighton won that one. Then Brighton got through to the semi-final. I played Brighton. It was a tough game. Absolutely spanked them. Quarterfinal. Absolutely spanked them all over the park. And then got him. And then I've got Louise. Do you want to run through your side of the row?
Yeah, like I say, as deep as you did. I played Joe, managed to get a result against Joe. Marseille, the other Joe, beat Oliver to make it through to the quarters. So we actually play this evening. So straight after this, I'll be playing him. Get it out of the way. Alice, I'm pretty sure, got a bye due to a default due to James's absence. So obviously, and then Cookie Lil beat Alan of Lyon. And I didn't actually notice that, but fair play to Cookie for turning over.
I know.
Ajax. Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a good semi-final.
It's a great semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've changed it around a little bit now, so the cup finals are getting played the same week as the last game weeks, so it's going to be a bit complicated. It'll be interesting to see how everyone gets on. Obviously, we've got Copa del FMSL. Got it right, didn't I? Yeah, I knew it like that. And the Healing Cup on the other side of the thing. So yeah, I actually think you will make it to the final.
I would love to, because I'm having such a shit season. I would
like you to. I would like you to go on and win it. I think. I think whoever, me or Joey go through this evening, I think Cookie will come out on top. He's got his boys playing well, so I think it'll be you versus Udinese versus Lille in the final. That's my shout.
Ooh, that would be some story. That. So we talked about the Healing Cup. Again, semi-finals are played this week. I can't remember where we're up to at this point, but
no, semi-finals are next week. Yeah, we've done the quarterfinals this week because I beat Wesley. He got a red card, unfortunately, in like the 28th minute. Finished 5-0. It was a very Monaco, Fenerbahce. It was a tight game. Simon obviously made it through. Hats off to that. Anish managed to put off a great result against Atlanta to get through to the semi-finals, and Joe managed to beat Jake, which is nice to see.
Something of a triumph.
Lesser two evils, maybe. Don't know. Probably not. But yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so there's the semi-finals there for the Healing Cup. So obviously, when we come back, there's a chance that I'll come back from holiday. I'll come back from holiday. It's the last week. I literally land on the Thursday. So the window is open on a Saturday. Now, I have asked someone, I'm not saying who, to play my games because I don't want to keep people waiting. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, you didn't ask, which I feel a bit insulted, but it's okay.
I don't want to put that pressure on you, mate. I don't want to put that pressure on you. You don't need that pressure.
I don't, man. I love that pressure. It's great. But can you believe it? Because we can't. This is 1 year.
We can't.
1 year of the FMSL podcast, which is something of a triumph, because I've tried to keep things going for longer than a year, and trust me, they never work. So this is something that I know Chrissy is very proud of, to have this. And you can see I've cut out conversations through, because we know that this is going to be just a relentless piece of talking. But I do want to say a few thank yous first. That's all right. So cheers to Niall for helping us out at the start of this podcast process, because without that, we are stuck on Skype still at this moment in time, and we are hating our lives, and I'm having to edit loads of stuff, and it's just a nightmare. So thank you to Niall for that and for getting us started out. I want to thank you to Craig Sumner for being our first guest. Now, we'll probably talk about this in the next slide, but there's a funny story behind that. And I want to thank all of the other guests as well, so we could be here for a while. Simon, Joe, James, Magnus twice, because we love Magnus, Kev Hodgson and Kev Heenan.
R.I.P.
We want to thank Mark, old Mark McNeil, Jake, Oliver Ronan, Craig Parker, and the people who were on Window Live, if anybody actually remembers that car crash, our first ever live. So we want to thank Niall, Kev Heenan, Magnus, and Andy. And I do want to say a special thank you to you, Chrissy, because without this, it would have been a total shit show and no one would have watched. So thank you very much for
mate. You know what? Thank you to you as well.
For being part of this.
Cheers, mate. But thank you to you. If people don't know, Cam, all this stuff you see here, all these lovely graphics, all the screenshots, it all takes time, it all takes preparation. It's all Cam. I'll just come on and waffle on. We do obviously talk throughout the week. Yeah, thanks, mate. We do talk during the week. But yeah, it's all down to Cam. The pod wouldn't be where it is today if it weren't for you, mate. So hats off to you. Here's to another year.
Here's to another year, mate. Here's to another year. I know you've got nothing there. So we'll talk about
Mrs. One. That wasn't very nice.
Ugh. Red or white?
Rosé. Is it rosé?
Ooh. Love a bit of a rosé. So
I bet you do. Oh, mate, look at that. Look at that beautiful.
And that was just one
collage.
Screenshot. I couldn't be bothered to get it all of them on one, because it would break my computer. But I mean, that is just our last lot of episodes that we've done. And you can see we did have a short break. We had about a month's break, which kind of actually restarted the whole thing when we knew what was going on with the podcast.
Yeah, we was waiting as well for what was happening with FMSL and obviously FM25 not coming out. So there was a lot of it was all up in the air, wasn't it? I mean, and Christmas as well. I think we had a little break over that. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got back to it now. But yeah, it's 35 episodes plus 2 live episodes and the rest of the other videos on the channel. I think this is now the 61st. This will be the 61st video, I think. I'm 99% sure. I should have wrote that down. But yeah, so look at our little baby faces.
Oh my God, look at them young guns.
So this was actually the second podcast we recorded.
Yeah, because didn't we record Craig's one first?
Yes,
and then we were like, shit, we haven't explained anything. Let's go back and do another one. So we literally did one just explaining about the league and stuff. And
yeah, and the funny thing is, we did. I think it was out of a week. I think we did 4 recordings in 1 week. Which, looking back now on hindsight, what a fucking awful idea. But
we had literally like it was. Yeah, we literally had like 4 in 1 week. It was crazy. And then we sort of realised, that's not
how we do things.
That's not good for the foreseeable. Nah.
Yeah, we were burning through guests, but this was technically this was episode 1, so this was technically our first podcast.
Yeah, technically.
And look at how baby face we are. I mean, I screenshotted these before, and I went, "Oh my God, how different do you look?" Not so much me, because I still look like a grubby little shit, but you look so different. The crisp, clean haircut that you clearly got for the podcast.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm getting my haircut. I'm getting my haircut on Sunday.
I can't tell you what shirt that is. I think it's probably Getafe or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was some Spanish team. It doesn't fit anymore. So Yeah.
Oh, well. But yeah, that was over a year ago now. That is insane. Like,
It's
look
hot
at
that
us
day as
now.
well.
Look at us
I
now.
know.
We're on Skype.
Matures, graceful.
We're
We're on
on
StreamYard
Skype.
now.
We're on
Yeah.
Skype. Who does? I mean, Skype's defunct now. It's
Podcast
non-existent.
episode 1. Welcome to FMSL.
Well, that's some really creative titles. I know.
Brilliant.
So this was our first StreamYard pod, and we had Mark on, and Niall was sitting somewhere in the corner down here, and he was directing the whole thing, directing all the colours, directing all the
That lasted long,
all
didn't
the
it?
shows. Yeah, that lasted really long. So thank you, Niall. It lasted about 2
Cheers
weeks.
now. Thanks, mate. Yeah.
After you know what, it was actually after the car crash. About 4 episodes later, he just went, "I'm fucking not doing this anymore." Yeah, I struggle to see why, but yeah. I think he thought that was what have I done? What the fuck have I done? But yeah, look at you, like a serial killer. That you went through. Like, let's look at that haircut.
I went through the changes.
Look at that haircut. That looks like a prison mugshot. If not anything, that's a prison mugshot.
They all 3 of us look like prison mugshots. What are you on about?
Maybe not
a pick. You could have got a more graceful picture of Mark there, picking his nose.
It was funny. It was funny. I was battling against time to get these done.
That's good, man.
But yeah, the first StreamYard podcast was episode 10. I had to go back and double check that. I knew it was one of the Baldies. I just didn't know which one. So then we had our first live where we had Messrs. Niall, Heenan, Sean Clark, and Hawes all on.
Oh God, I forgot about that. We literally had 4 guests on.
It was ridiculous. I mean, look at that, an hour and a half pretty much of this. And I remember
getting to Andy and just being like, yeah, right, mate. He was just chatting away, and I was like, yeah, I love your hand, mate, but can we get this wrapped up? Bless him. He was last. It was his back there, League 1, League 2.
League 2, yeah. That's how long ago it was. I mean, that was him talking about League 2, and I distinctly remember. I remember what happened that night. That made me. It was me. Nana had a fall, and I was in and out of the podcast like a fucking yo-yo.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't.
Yeah, because the last one, it was just me and Andy chatting away.
Like, that was the only picture I could actually find of me on the screen.
I didn't know how to stop it.
Oh God, do at times. That was our first one.
We'll have to do another. We'll have to do another one. We'll have to do another live, I reckon.
Yeah.
We'll only have to get 2 guests because there's not 4 leagues, only 2 leagues.
Yeah, we should do that.
I'm pretty sure we can blag Magnus to come on. Andy will always be up for it. Niall could probably come on. We'll probably get. We could do another one. I think
we could do a couple. Yeah, I think we could. I think we could do another one. But yeah, that was crazy. And then this one's going to make me laugh even more. This one, Beating the Odds. This is my favorite episode we've ever recorded. It was about fucking 27 degrees in the north, which is just. And there was Chrissy with a towel on his head.
Just like that down south. It was just like that down south.
With the Fosters in his hand, burning up, and it was honestly, it was my favorite episode to record because it was just we're just drinking. It was just the whole. I literally watched it back yesterday, and 90% of it is just going.
Mate, it was so hot that day.
It's crazy because it's crazy, and it makes me laugh now. I think it was. I can't remember when it was. I'll have to go back and check after this. But yeah, it was crazy.
It was you would have been off work, and we're drinking beer. I mean, I've got a towel on my head. It was that hot. I was sweating out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look at it, but I think it was pretty much. The hottest day of the year, and it was one of my favourites. But the next, I think it was the start of August. I think because the next one was a very special day for you. It was about a week late, but it was a very special day.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. Oh, Big Mark.
Oh, Big Mark Crossley. So I'm going to play it again because I paid for it.
Chrissy, how you doing? Happy belated birthday. It's Big Norm here, Mark Crossley. I hope you're well. I hope you had a fantastic birthday. 35 years old. Very nice age to be enjoying your life. I know you're going to be recording the podcast, the Football Manager Super League podcast. So, all good news, all good news. I hope it is a great birthday. And I know that you like the Brian Clough stories. I've heard that too. So, happy birthday from me, Brian, as well. I know you like the podcasts, and I'm pretty good at taking him off.
Oh, the memories.
That was a good day.
What a guy.
That was a
Honestly,
good day.
I thought I was not getting it, and I was just like, oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden, email popped through, and I was like, oh, it's come, Chrissy, we need to record a podcast now. Oh. Well, that was your birthday surprise. I can't remember what the episode was called, but it was in episode 21, so it was the next episode. So
Yeah.
that was good.
Good day. Cheers again for that. That was brilliant.
No, it just makes me laugh now. But we have come to the end of our fantastic. I do want to ask you a question though, Chrissy. What was your favorite podcast like we've recorded, or one of your favorite moments, or something like that?
I think. I mean, there's so many. One would have been, like I say, the early days with that. I mean, we did this for fun. We do this for fun. We don't. There's not a lot gained by it, apart from my love for the league and FMSL and FM. But the way James described it, and it was just quite touching, and it really made me appreciate being in the league and being part of the podcast. I mean, me and you have had such a laugh. So many laughs together. So much highs and not really lows, a bit of drama, a bit of controversy, but I mean, so many funny times. Most recently with Ballon, that was just that was joyful, incredible. Just joyful times. Yeah. There's never you come onto the pods, even like, all right, someone might not have had a great week. FM might have not been amazing, not been that nice to you this week, but it's just there's not. You don't worry about anything when you come on the pod. We just talk about football.
Oh, it's brilliant.
We talk about spreadsheets. We talk about these games and these managers from all around the world, and yeah, just I'm so grateful to do this because every time, sometimes you had a hard week, you're building up for it. You're like, Cam, do we have to do it today? And you're like, yeah, come on, let's do it. Or you're like, oh, and then afterwards, I'm like, I'm so glad we did. It's just fulfilled, mate. And here, I just love it. And thank you for having me.
Oh, I wouldn't choose anybody else. Put it that way. It's been a long emotional ride, but we haven't forgotten about everybody's favorite feature that nobody really gives a shit about. So
all the quizzes as well. All the quizzes we've done.
Oh yeah, all the quizzes. Fuck yeah. I mean, to be honest, I would love to go back now and count who got the most questions, but God knows at this point. God knows. God knows. I haven't got that much time. And if it was on Drake's episode, it's just not getting watched. I mean, to be fair, beating the odds. I'll tell you this now. Beating the odds I think it's one of the highest viewed podcasts. I think it was at 1.3k. I think Kev Hodgson holds the record. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
I think Kev Hodgson holds the record. I think it's at 1.6. So
see if we can beat it.
See if we can.
See if the anniversary podcast beats it. Go on. Let's do the feature that everyone loves that no one cares about.
Hey.
Now I've had the time of my life. And I owe it all to you, Ken. Yeah, I had to put it on. Classic tune, very symbolic for this week's pod. Like I just said, it's a very joyful part of the week, and yeah, I've had the time of my life this year.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was. Do you know what? Right, it was on the list. It was on the short list. This one. So when he picked it off, I went, "Okay, right, can't use that."
I've already got. I mean, I've already got the stick. I've already got the picture for it.
Actually, all I did was change the name, move the slide around. That was it. I didn't have to do much. But my track was it almost reminds me of that really hot summer's day recording Beating the Odds was ELO's
Mr. Blue
Mr. Blue
Sky.
Sky. And no, we're not singing that for you. No, absolutely not. We're
Mr.
not
Blue
singing that.
Sky, please tell us why you have to hide
Hide
away
away
for
for
so long. I knew do you know what? I knew I'd get you singing that. You just said we're not singing it. I knew if I started, you would have. I know,
God
what a
help
track.
it.
Great pick.
But yeah, it just
pick.
it reminds you of all the good times. And do you know what? For this podcast, it's been a way of elevating my own self-confidence and being able to do this kind of thing. And maybe it's something in the future. It might be something that I want to go and do. But yeah, it's been a really, really good experience. But Christopher, we are at the end of. I mean, this is probably the shortest podcast we've done in a while, to be fair, apart from Craig's blackout.
Yeah, but it's a brief. It was a little update, a little briefing. Just nice to reminisce about the year gone past, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but we do continue. We don't just stop there. We do continue, and we've got a lot of things coming up. We've got a lot more managers wanting to be on the pod. We've got Aid who wants to be on the pod at some point. We've got Steve. We've got a whole host of other people. Niall wants to come back on. We've got a lot of guests willing and waiting. Good. So maybe next week when you're not here, we'll have a guest on to fill your role. But we will see. We will see. But again, thank you very much for joining me, Chrissy, and thank you to all the listeners. Before I forget, because without you coming on, it's just for the people in the league at this point. So without the external listeners, it's pretty bleak. So it is nice for other people to hear our stories and have.
Yes.
And all of the listeners we've had in the past and all the subscribers we've got. I mean, we've got what 3.1k or 3.1 K subscribers now, and it's like we're still getting subscribers every day, believe it or not. We are decreasing naturally through YouTube's account deletion program that they're doing. If you don't use your account, it's gone. But I think it's nice that we're still getting subscribers, we're still getting new viewers, and we're getting returning viewers from old managers and things like that. So thank you all very much. And once again, thank you, brother, for coming on and being the legend that you are.
Cheers, man. Thank you as always. Well,
take it easy, my friend. Take it easy.
And you, brother.
So this is once again the end of another fairy tale podcast. This is episode 35, so we've got a long way to go to reach that 100 milestone. So that's the goal. Maybe 50, but 100's the real goal. But once again, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for watching, listening on whatever platform or whatever you're doing. Even if you just put one in the background and you just want to hear some white noise, it's fine with me. Helps the views. So thank you very much for coming on, and we will see you somewhere down the road, probably in the 2-year anniversary. So take care.